Well, I heard last week he was sick all week, so probably why he didn't play very good Saturday. He's a special talent. He could have gone anywhere in the country coming out of high school, and he went to Arkansas, which is a credit to those guys. He's hard to tackle. He's an NFL running back. Obviously we hadn't tackled very well the first 2 weeks, so if we don't tackle better, he's going to gain a lot of yards. I'm sure they're not pleased with their run game right now. They'll be looking to fix that against us, and if I was watching our defensive tape, I'd run it every snap.
Well, you said earlier that usually see the most improvement week 1 and week 2. Did you see what you wanted to see?
So we made some improvements. I'm glad we didn't play Arkansas Saturday. I'm glad we got an extra week of practice. But some guys did some better things. They played a lot harder. There's a lot of, like I always say, there's a lot of excuses and reasons why. But give the kids credit. They did play harder and they showed some improvement.
Did you see a progression from any of those linebackers who played in the second game as opposed to maybe some who started in the first?
We did. We did, and that's part of it too, is figuring out who can play where. Who can play in what spot, and we're in the process of finding out who can actually do what, in a live situation, because you just don't scrimmage a whole lot anymore. So what happens to you is you really don't know till the live bullets come. And we've seen some live bullets here in the last 2 weeks, and obviously Saturday will be some fast bullets.
Coach, first road test of the year, Kingsbury said that this team doesn't need much motivation after what happened last year, but it being the first road test is going to be a tough environment. What's your message to your offense?
Yeah, we just have to keep communicating really well, and especially during practice this week. I mean, that'll be a key emphasis. It'll be loud in there. It'll be the first time we probably go, on silent count, not do an audible count. And so communication will be key. We'll be going fast, just like always. But so we got to get lined up, eliminate all the pre-snap penalties. Did a little bit better job last week of that. And, we can't hurt ourselves in this game. I mean, we have a big enough challenge. The competition's going to get better from here on out, and our kids know that. And so it'll be a great test for us early in the season. We've made some strides, but we have our hands full with a good Arkansas team.
Do you sense a confidence with the offense that maybe you haven't seen over the last 2 or 3 years? And is that kind of catching on with the rest of the troops?
I think so. I told the guys the other day, the coolest play to me on tape is when we score when DeAndre scores a touchdown and there's about 10 guys that jump on, they all show up there in the end zone and celebrate with him. And I haven't seen that in the last, 2 years here, with everybody playing together as one and happy for each other and celebrating with each other when things are going good. And actually picking people up too when people, do drop balls or get penalties. I mean, guys are encouraging each other. And so they played a lot together. I think they're carrying themselves well now, and anytime you have success, that kind of comes along with it. You always say the most excited team to play the game usually wins the game, but usually you're excited because you're doing good things out there.
People have the SEC is their top conference, and then the rest of the Power Five kind of fall in line behind them, and they're just the superior group. Do you feel like the talent gap is that far apart between them and the other Power Five conferences?
We haven't played enough of them for me to answer that. I mean, it's hard to argue with, they've won a lot of the last 6 or 7, there's only been 1 year they didn't win it all. So it's hard to argue with that. I mean, there's some great teams in this conference. They're one of them. They played really well at the end of last year. They played shutout LSU and got after them pretty good and had some big wins last year. So it's hard to argue that. Our kids know it's going to be a challenge. We know, that they're built a little bit bigger than us, and we'll have to play extremely physical. But our guys are ready. Extreme. Right after that game, Jakeem Grant came up and said, "Coach, this next week's what we've been waiting for." So they know it's a challenge. Their secondary is really good. Their defensive line is really good, and so we're excited to go into a hostile environment and face that. We need that as a football team right now to kind of measure where we're at. We've made some strides these first 2 games, but this is a big challenge for us, and I think our kids are looking forward to it.